my case?
Fine. Imus in Washington has been brought to you by iSearch, a job placement company.
Ladies, do you have low self-esteem? Willing to work within the confines of a meat locker mentality? Are you cowed by leering hard hats? Finally, could it be that you're a self-motivated demon worshiper, capable of balancing 5 brutishly irrational demands while simultaneously feigning interest in a one-sided, one-dimensional conversation that would make a deaf-mute scream? The Imus in the Morning radio program is taking applications for an Imus executive secretary. If you sound like that gal, send a resume of your previous job abuse experience to Imus program, Kaufman Astoria Studios, Queens, New York. You could be just around the corner from a complete emotional collapse. Congratulations and good luck.
7:39:21 at 8 o'clock. I am Imus in the Morning. Dale Earnhardt, who just won his 6th Winston Cup championship out of the Atlanta Raceway. The only guy ever won anymore was Richard Petty, who doesn't drive anymore because he got dizzy after a little shit. Talk to Dale a little bit here. Calvin McClin.
Right, 5 o'clock, coming up, Mick. Don't go away. Come on back. You're telling me that Joe Namath got the MVP based on racism? You're full of crap. You know what, Eli? You are as dangerous as a redneck with a white sheet over their head. So I'm going to tell you right now, you want to come on and talk sports, you come on and talk sports. You want to come on and talk bull crap, bye-bye.
Middays from 10 till 1 on The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Only in America. Only in America. Have a good day.
New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening at 5 o'clock. This is John Minko.
Which is a hip-hop station, sort of. So now they hire these 2 nitwits from MTV, Dr. Dre and Ed Lover.
Jerk and the fat man.
Yeah.
You couldn't find 2 more stereotypical shitless slobs.
Well,
if you went into Rikers Island, Martin Luther King would shoot himself if he were around to see these pigs today. The morning show could start around 1 p.m.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning on The Fan.
Hey, man, your mama so fat. She need to dress for each leg, man.
So they're Dr. Dre, Ed Lover, and Lisa Glassberg,
Here we
right?
go. Lisa G is in the house.
Get out of here.
Mostly cloudy, and that's what's happening. This is John Minko at 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball. 6:04, and what do you say? Howie Rose with you on The Fan, straight through all the way, right up until midnight, with, of course, one major interruption, which we are only too happy to present to you, and that will be the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks look to do a little damage to Houston's unbeaten. Scored at 7 on The Fan, Howie Rose. And we are set to send you down to the Garden for the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. Susan Waldman is standing by with a pregame show. Then after the game, after the postgame stuff, I'll be back with you, and we'll talk it over at 718-937-6666. See what else we might be able to pursue to carry you right up until midnight tonight. So for Sweeney Murdy and Dalton Kramer, I'm Howie Rose, sending you now, right after the update with Bill Daughtry, to the Knicks and the Houston Rockets. Hi, Eddie. Eddie Scazzeri, looking for a plug.
He tied her up. He turned on the button.
the news, your program host. And I'm sure you're all familiar with our regulars, Walter Cronkite, Rush Limbaugh, and at our anchor desk in New York, Don Imus. Now the news. Here in Washington, President Clinton has just announced that the White House...
If you can name 3 NASCAR stock car drivers. I'll name one for you, Dale Earnhardt. Can you name 2 more?
No.
I'll give you another name. Kyle Petty. This is for $1 million, honey. You have 5 seconds.
$1 million, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Richard?
You lost him. Huh?
Richard?
No, it's too late now. You lost him.
Why?
Because you was too late. You had 5 seconds. Just
you
like
didn't think
Jeopardy. You've got a whole day.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Liked old Dale Earnhardt, didn't you? Good guy. Charles asked him, "Are you afraid when you're driving 200 miles an hour?" He looked at Charles like, "You
Well, how,
I wanted to know. Are you afraid when you drive fast, Mr. Earnhardt? Huh?
be careful in Times Square today.
It's 7:21 in New York.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Not rocking a bar.
2020 sports.
Came at a great game. He kicked my butt.
Akin to Patrick Ewing after a good old-fashioned whooping at Madison Square Garden. They've won 15, going on 16 for Houston. It's not just luck. They win on the road as Ewing's a pant load, and all the Knicks did suck.
That will be fine. You cannot sing.
Oh, man.
I disagree. Well, all right.
That was Rockets. Knicks victimized by Hakeem Olajuwon, 37 points. Hakeem, just like the Knicks, wants to put this one behind him.
We can't be too happy about tonight. We have to be prepared for tomorrow.
Like that attitude. We're late. That will be fine. They play the Hawks tonight in order to break that NBA record. Also last night, the NBA Washington store with a lot of good merchandise. Have you ever shopped at Kmart?
Yes. Absolutely, I have.
You know, that was the reason I liked Martha Stewart. In fact, I was very...
Wow, you're clawing at your scalp.
I know, well, my head issues.
That's scary.
Please.
That is scary.
You're an idiot.
I hate you. You're climbing up your body.
Even his grants.
I want to stay out of it, though.
In the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Mike Coleman, Dave Jennings, keep it there. We're back on the other side.
It's Friday Night Football on the Fan. It's great.
More refined.
Not much. This is going to go down to the final weekend, and that's what makes it fun. I mean, baseball will find this out. There are going to be more pennant races towards the end of the season in baseball, and there are going to be a ton here. Check the screen out.
All of that, Jim Sweeney and Robert Plant, our guests. All right, thanks for doing for us, folks. For Dave Jennings, I'm Ed Coleman. We'll see you.
Happening. I'm Vince DeLisi with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship radio station for New York Jets football.
On the flag. Good evening, everybody. I am taking you until 12 o'clock, along with Sweeney Murdy and Lisa Johnson. A lot to cover on this Friday night in New York. And, of course, you'll be involved at 718-937-6666. 24 hours ago, the Knicks were humbled, to say the least, by the Houston Rockets. I was at the Garden for that one. Now, when you enter... That's Duke Sneak? Duke Sneak. I'm not familiar with Duke Sneak. Quit apologizing. Duke Kane. D-U-C-A... New York, good to have you with us. December 4th is your day, of course, as we chat with you about the world of sports. 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number as we have a couple of hours of Roca, 2.5 to be exact. Knicks Kings. That's at 1. Pre-game at 12:30. Now, lots going on, really. St. John's and Seton Hall today. You got a Manhattan Fordham game today.
I don't feel well.
You're clawing at your scalp.
I know, well, my head issues.
That's scary.
Please.
That is scary. Chris.
You're an idiot. I hate you. They're climbing up your body. Even his grams ain't.
Don't want to stay on him.
No.
In the morning on the fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
It's raining lightly. That's what's happening. This is John Brinko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Jets football. What? Nice to have you back with us. Mr. Russo on the fan as we chat to you about the world of sports. Bobby Honey, that first hour, good start with him. He, of course, the king point guard. At 718-937-6666 phone calls until 12. Realizing that you don't have to have 9 sacks to win the game. A little less pressure on you to really stop them so you really can sort of pin the ears back a little bit. Noontime and DeLisi on the fan. Don't go away. It's happening. I'm Vince DeLisi with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship radio station for New York Jets football. Okay, back on the fan for another half hour or so here on a Saturday afternoon. Now, as we talked about the world of sports, good day of sports here on Sports Radio 66. The Nick game, I think we probably have a show on in between Knicks and probably Eddie, or maybe Ian. No, it's probably Eddie. Between the Knicks and the game later on, it is Eddie today, and that's, of course, the game tonight with Seton Hall, St. John's. I can't deal with these big East games so soon. I can't focus in on them. I mean, there's a big East game today. St. John's. We'll have more to go. So keep it here on the fan. Vince DeLisi coming up with the latest at 5 o'clock. The flagship radio station for New York Knicks basketball. 5:05 on the fan, WFAN. Ed Coleman with you up until St. John's Seton Hall tonight. That's coming your way at 7:40. That'll be at the Garden. A little Big East matchup. We had just another Big East match earlier today. Villanova beating Georgetown. Knicks win big. Ian O'Connor of the Daily News. Susan Wallman will join us a little bit later on. It's been busy so far. Gary Danielson has been with us over in Tokyo for Wisconsin, Michigan State. Sam Rosen up in Toronto. It is 50 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm Vince DeLisi with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship radio station for New York Jets football. It is 6:05 on the fan, WFAN. Ed Coleman here with you till St. John's and Seton Hall tonight on the fan. Knicks big winners today. Kentucky, Indiana, pretty good basketball game here. As Indiana continues to lead late in this game. Kentucky putting on a rush. And a big game for the Rangers tonight in Toronto. They face the Maple Leafs, 2 division leaders there. Then they come back and face the Devils at the Garden tomorrow night. Time for phone calls now, 937. Everyone's going to think is going to be the best team. West Virginia, take the money and run.
Oh, man, Lauren, run.
Yeah, just look it out.
See the doors over there, you can still make it. So you're going to school now in Albany?
Yes.
With a BA in what?
Communication.
Another sucker. Yeah. The world's just waiting for you. There's plenty of opportunities out there.
Scary world, right?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the fan.
What's the matter?
What's wrong with you?
What? I don't feel well. You're clawing at your scalp. I know. Well, my head is. God, that's scary.
Please.
That is scary.
The cramps. You're an idiot. I hate you. They're climbing up your body.
Even his grams ain't.
Don't want to stay on them.
No.
In the morning on the fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Sports Radio.
What? I don't feel well. You're clawing at your scalp. I know. Well, my head is. God, that's scary. Please. That is scary. The cramps. Tracy calls and wants to do sports, and I said, well,
Tomorrow is Boomer Esiason.
Boomer Esiason's going to do sports. And is Anna Quillen going to be on tomorrow?
No, Anna Quillen is on Thursday, and tomorrow is
The fat Lowell Weicker?
Lowell Weicker.
The fat governor of Connecticut. Who called my friend Donald Trump a dirtbag. Yeah. And I'm a little upset about that. So I want to try to see if we can patch the differences between Governor Weicker and Donald Trump, because I don't think Donald Trump is a dirtbag, and I think perhaps the governor may want to reconsider his remarks, but knowing the governor, he probably doesn't want to reconsider them and probably will make them worse.
And add to them an augmentum tomorrow.
Yeah. So coming up on 23 after 7 here on the East Coast of America. Coming up on Imus in the morning, Jim from Taxi.
I just want to say so long to Johnny Carson.
No, Jim, he left last week.
Oh, well, I suppose that Ed McMahon will run the show.
No, Ed left with him.
Not Doc Toe.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, jeez. This is going to kill Tommy Newsom.
Rob Bartlett and the Bartletts, big New Year's Eve deal down. So I want to try this stuff. Boys.
We just got our defense going and did some things that we know we can do defensively and got some big block shots or whatever and got our running game going and got the ball down to the guy that we need to get it down to Dream down the stretch.
Rudy Maxwell hit a three-pointer with 31 seconds left to propel the Rockets to a 99-98 victory over the Cavs.
Who was that? Who was that, Tracy? This is Tracy Brady, by the way, doing...
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Come out tonight.
Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
I'll give you $1 million
Uh-oh.
if you can name 3 NASCAR stock car drivers.
Oh,
I'll name one for you, Dale Earnhardt. Can you name 2 more?
no.
I'll give you another name.
Go ahead.
Kyle Petty. This is for $1 million, Eileen.
million
You have 5 seconds.
$1 million, baby.
You just lost, yeah, that's
Is it
exactly right. You
Richard?
just lost him. Huh?
Richard?
No, it's too late now. You lost the money.
Wait, why?
Because it was too late. You had 5 seconds.
Oh,
It's
you
like
didn't
on
say-
Jeopardy.
you
You don't get a whole day.
didn't say that.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Liked old Dale Earnhardt, didn't you? Good guy. Charles asked him, are you afraid when you're driving 200 miles an hour?
I've always,
He looked at Charles like, you sissy.
Well, I wanted to know.
Are you afraid when you drive fast, Mr. Earnhardt? Huh?
Be careful in Times Square today.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Imus in the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Daughtry. That's what's happening. I'm Bill Daughtry with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the radio home of Howie Rose and the flagship station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
6:06, and what do you say? Howie Rose with you on the Fan right up until 8:40 tonight, when we take you towards the Monday night game, which will have significant bearing on the mood of Giant fans, I guess, as we take you down to Irving, Texas, for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll deal with that a little bit later on as we get closer to it. Of course, we'll have plenty of time to yak things up on the phones at 718-937-6666. And I got to tell you, listening to the radio, William Daughtry for the 8 o'clock update, which features some college basketball scores and the odd NHL game. There will be a Knick game going on later tonight. Out in Utah, we will have the Eagles and the Dallas in the Monday Night Football game coming up in about 3/4 of an hour, but we'll take most of that time between then and now to yak it up on the phones on the Fan.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Sports.
That's what's happening. I'm Bill Daughtry with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the radio home of Howie Rose and the flagship station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN, New York.
8:06 on the Fan. Howie Rose with you for another, 34 minutes anyway. Then we've got the Eagles and the Cowboys. Boy, could you imagine? I don't see Philadelphia winning this game tonight, but can you imagine the Giants with a 2-game lead at this point in the season? I mean, everybody. I remember driving around listening to John Madden with Mike and Chris probably 3 or 4 weeks into the season, maybe even further, where Madden said, hey, they're making some real strides, but he didn't think they had...
George S. Patton.
At ease. I appear before you people this morning with a heavy heart. One of you is going to have to undertake a mission from which there is little, if any, chance of returning whole, viable, either physically or psychologically intact. Am I describing what has, over the years, come to be known as a suicide mission? A one-way ticket? A journey at whose start you kiss everyone and everything near and dear goodbye? Yes. But you people, those who've worn the uniform before you, have been in similar circumstances in times past. Pork Chop Hill, Incheon, Midway, Tet, the Corregidor Death March. The only difference this time is that you're being told beforehand the nature of the circumstances you may face. Now, if I can have the overhead projection, please. Kill those lights. Good. Well, there it is. Your objective. The Kaufman Astoria Studio Complex, Queens, New York. That's right. That's right. I'm asking for volunteers. I'm asking for one of you to pay the ultimate sacrifice and become the Imus in the Morning Executive Secretary. All right, at ease. What I'm asking of you people is not impossible, though the odds are heavily against you. So far, as you know, only one person has embarked upon this mission and lived to fight another day. Laura Nimbach, who somehow made it in and made it out again, escaping to a headquarters position, in fact, with CBS Morning News. How she did it is still a matter of deep disagreement and bitter conjecture among our top military analysts. Some things we're just not meant to understand. What I have to show you next is not pretty. Next slide, please. This is a recon photo of those who didn't make it out. You will notice the facial expressions, either frozen in horror or with the mouths here, and here, set in a hate sneer, a paralysis of loathing. All of these were Imus executive secretaries. Most female, 1 or 2 male, 1 or 2 ambiguous. What they share, their common bond, is that all appear to have suffered horribly at the hands of an adversary hatched from the very bowel of Hades itself, codenamed I-Man, a deeply paranoid, infinitely hostile figure capable of whipsawing one's emotions from fear to relief to the blackest malice in a span of seconds. Obviously, this mission requires a special individual, one with guts, a bottomless capacity to absorb punishment, and perhaps who already suffers a terminal disorder. I'll be accepting names of volunteers in the ballot box device now being passed among you. Good luck. Godspeed. And don't try calling the suicide hotline. This time, it's already too late. Where is Les Aspin when you really want him, huh? That is all.
It's about 21 minutes till 7 o'clock. I am Imus. When they gave away my Jeep, that red Jeep Wrangler that I had, that I put about 500 miles on.
Hi, man. How you doing, babe?
I'm better.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you, I can't tell you how excited I am being on your show before you croaked. I'm telling you, I'm feeling, I've been listening to you every morning, and I feel for you, and I had to get on this program before you let go.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
You must be a big football fan.
But, I don't need to get so snippy with me. I don't follow every week, but I did watch you guys play.
Well, now, listen, I get up in the morning, and I turn you on, and I listen to you every day.
Fine, I'll watch every game.
It had to be tapes, the best of I-Man. God dang, it was making me sick after a while.
Where is Fuller, by the way?
Sports Radio 66.
Governor Law this week has been thinking about external genitalia. Andy?
Have you been following Michael Jackson's penis?
No.
I have. Well, at least the story of what I now characterize Penisgate. The pop singer's penis is certainly the biggest in the news right now. I mean, so far as all the attention it's receiving, I have no inside knowledge regarding dimensions or anything, you understand?
Sure.
While Michaels is writing the biggest headlines, it is far from being the only front-page penis prominently provoking prattle. Fact of the matter is, these things are proliferating, judging from the recent events that can be at least loosely tied to somebody's penis.
Fine.
Besides Michael Jackson, we're all far
far too familiar with the Bobbits of Virginia. And soon will be even more so when the wife's malicious wounding trial gets underway. It seems as though there's a prominent penis popping up somewhere on about a once-a-week basis. This program, which some wags say is hosted by one, has taken a fair share of criticism of late for purportedly leaning too heavily on this or that penis. Well, dear listener, it wasn't me or Imus who had 20 lads in Michael Jackson's hot tub, nor was it Dan Rather, Ed Bradley, or Dr. Bob Arnott. We don't cause the news, we just report it. Now, wait a minute. Strike Dr. Arnott from that list. He might very well have been in Michael Jackson's hot tub, as I think about it, when they were all playing bobbing for Cub Scouts. My point is that penises have become almost routine on our front pages. Even the old gray lady of dailies, the vaunted New York Times, swallowed hard the other day and said the P word. That was unfortunate. Strike swallowed in this context and substitute gulped. No, that's not so great either. Oh, well. Penises came up the other night on CNBC on the Mary Matlin and Jane Wallace show. They've reared their ugly heads on Larry King. For goodness sake, in recent weeks, even the Pope has been required to make references to the little buggers. The very latest penis to poke above the horizon is one that's come into view before. It resides at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. With NAFTA, the PLO, health care, the GATT talks, and what have you, it had been keeping a pretty low profile. But now, Jennifer Flowers informs that she's about to grace us with a book. Uh-oh. Frankly, I hope it doesn't do well. I don't know about you, but I've come around to thinking that the fellow at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is pretty much okay. I don't think his penis is all that relevant anymore. I'm sorry if you cringe then every time you hear the P word, because the damn things are everywhere. Really, why not? When you think about it, half of humanity has one. Are we to naively deny their existence? No. If you're asking me, 2,500,000,000 penises have to stand for something. To paraphrase the boys at Queer Nation, we're here, we've got 'em, get used to it. Save, of course, for Jim Baker, the Boston Herald hack, who, when he took on Imus, stepped on his. Ouch, hey, Jim?
That vomit-licking stooge. Here on the phone with us now, the quarterback for the New York Giants, Phil Simms. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Don.
How are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Well, I'm all right. You're about 50 now, right?
I'm close to it. Yeah, I'm about 20 years younger than you.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
The quarterback from the New York Jets, Boomer Esiason. Good morning, Boomer.
Good morning, Imus. I was going to wait until Thanksgiving, gobble gobble, if you know what I mean.
Thanks for ruining the whole bit. I wish I could get my hands around your neck.
Yeah. Maybe that'd be the last thing you ever put your hands in.
17 after 7 here in New York.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Boomer Esiason is here with... But I think I just asked a couple of simple questions here.
No, but I'm just telling you, I really believe that we have one of the better offenses in football.
Oh, yeah. Well, that better offense in football came up with 6 points against the Indianapolis Colts because nobody knows what the hell's going on. You don't have any one guy calling the plays.
No focus.
There's absolutely nobody in charge.
Yes, there is.
You got a committee out there.
And the committee is doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Last year they scored 21 touchdowns. I think we've already scored 26 this year.
Well, they're not going to count last year's touchdowns, Boomer.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying there's been drastic improvement.
This is so weak. God, this is ridiculous.
This is unbelievable with you, I tell you.
Last year we scored 21 touchdowns. Nobody cares about last year.
Can I do the sports now, or we still have Eileen on hold?
No, we have to talk to the governor of Connecticut, and then we'll give you a chance to... What's the matter?
What is he going to talk about?
Well, he's a great guy, right?
I'm not saying that he isn't a great guy.
Well, then let me talk to him, and then we'll get back to you.
Right.
You're not mad or anything, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, you act as though you are. Is he on the phone?
He's coming right now. We'll give him a second, boss.
Okay. Well, what would he be doing? Finishing his cereal, or?
Probably.
It's 7:30 here at here in New York, and I am Imus in the morning, and okay, is he on the phone now?
He is, yeah.
All right, here now, the governor of the state of Connecticut, Lowell Weicker. Good morning, Governor Weicker. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
I'm on my life cycle. Some yahoo said I had to lose 125 pounds, and I'm up to 123, but 2 more to go.
The Irish Morning program will be back with Boomer Esiason, who hopefully has settled down there, got a little exercise there just because we put a little pressure on him, trying to pin him down about who was calling the plays for the wake up, Boomer, calling the plays for the New York Jets.
The people of this country do not want this process to be over, and I don't want it to be over either. I want us to come into New York with our guns blaring, ready to roll. This is the best kickoff we could get. No one will take this election for granted. We're going to work hard, and we're going to win it.
Tell your mama, tell your pa, gonna see you right now. This song, no. Mama, she gon' do right. Imus in the morning.
7 remote flashes. 6.
4 light meters.
It took you long enough. Like
I couldn't find it, Mike.
And 5 freedom zooms. Bump, bump, bump. I mean, it is impossible. It is impossible for someone to have a worse voice than you. It is impossible. No, stop. I have to get through this part. Well, you get the idea, don't you? Anyway, it's too bad there are only 12 days of Christmas. A little lower, so you'd be like a bed. You'd be like a bed right now, okay? Just do it slow. I can get the, low while I can do this. Because Minolta has enough great gifts to cover a lot more than 12 days. How about the new 700 SI, the most precise? You have possibly the worst voice in the history of mankind.
You're not exactly not King Cole either, Mike. Can I tell you that?
Chestnuts.
I forgot that. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Yeah.
What is your favorite Christmas carol? You gotta pick one song. What would it be? Are you gonna bird sing, Tim? We can do a little bird down here. I feel like I'm with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Favorite Christmas? We got one. Let me think. Probably the what? That's 12 Days of Christmas.
That's your favorite?
Yeah. Frosty the Snowman. No.
The yawn part sounds better than the regular part.
You have a couple you wanna?
I don't think you need me to add anything to this.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Santa
one that
Claus is
Chris won't sing.
to town.
Did you ever hear us sing
No.
12 Days of Christmas?
I was on the other side of the glass.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
We'll probably
yeah.
have to recreate that this year.
That's probably where you still should be. I think.
God knows you shouldn't be in a nightclub.
So your favorite Christmas song is Frosty the Snowman?
Which one's yours, Mike?
Anyone you don't know.
Let's see. Well, give me another song. Do the Chestnuts on the Open Fire. You did that well.
No, I'll save that one.
Come on, yeah, that's a good one.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. You know the second line? I'll give you $100 if you know the second line.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
I don't want $100. I figured he never knows when I do that to him.
Give Bob 50.
Oh, Bob, you gave him the line. I knew he wouldn't know it.
Poor boy on the fan. Ian's got the flash. Sports Radio 66.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
All right, Mike and Chris.
Here now from Salt Lake City is Mike Breen. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, guy, man. I understand you have a very courageous and a very handsome blonde quarterback filling in for me today.
No, Boomer Esiason was there.
Bill Sims couldn't make it.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Now, the offensive coordinator, how much does he have to do with all this?
Well, there really isn't. It's coordinated by committee.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we don't have anybody in charge here.
What do you mean a problem? Look how many points we scored. We've moved the
Yeah, you
ball.
scored 6 Sunday. I know that.
But we've also played in 2 horrible weather games.
Oh, God.
So I don't want to hear anything.
We'll cancel these games when it rains.
I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into a game other than just. Listen, I'm going to come over and.
In the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN. Mike in the Mentor, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
You keep someone off because the view might be different.
You're starting? No, I'm going to tell you first. I'm going to tell tell you first. No, I'm going to tell you first. You're telling me that Joe Namath got the MVP based on racism? You're full of crap. You know what, Eli? You are as dangerous as a redneck with a white sheet over their head. So I'm going to tell you right now, you want to come on and talk sports, you come on and talk sports. You want to come on and talk bull crap, bye-bye.
Middays from 10 till 1 on The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Only in America. Only in America. Have a good day.
New York. WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Daughtry. I'm Bill Daughtry with 2020 Sports and WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
6:04, and what do you say? Howie Rose with you on the Fan Hill, 7:40 tonight. Then it's St. John's in Pittsburgh, followed by the Knicks and the Lakers. From the Great Western Forum, Knicks showing some more intensity problems in the second half last night, losing at Utah. Same story, really. Patrick Ewing goes out, foul trouble. Knicks don't present a lot of other offensive options, which again is why I think this Charles Smith injury might not be the worst thing in the world, because it's going to force feed some people. At least that's what you look.
Marv is actually, this is pretty good. Marv's actually doing a sportscast for us.
Bill Robbins preparing. He did a fine job.
By the way, if you say, Desire the Telestrator one more time, I'm going to hang myself in that shower.
Please say it if he's going to hang
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
You hate hockey for some reason?
I don't. I'm not just not a big hockey fan, except...
Lack of understanding or
clearly.
He's still
clearly.
No, he gets it.
Except that I used to accept that I have been to Ranger and Islander games, and you saw me at a Ranger game.
I remember you were sitting to the left of our broadcast booth. The game ends. Third period is over. Don remains in his seat, awaiting a fourth period.
Connecticut telephone.
I just realized something the other day.
What?
I've been a part of the Imus in the Morning program now for over 2 years. Longer than any woman has ever worked for the I-Man. Don't give me a trophy. I might try and impale myself with it. Still, as the longest-standing female member of his daily testosterone-charged locker room fun fest, I feel it is my responsibility to my fellow sisterhood to provide a word of advice to the poor, helpless soul who eventually winds up as the sacrificial lamb known as the Imus assistant. The most important thing, which you must learn above all else, is that the I-Man needs to be understood. A task which is easier said than done, by the way, when you're dealing with such a guarded, megalomaniacal, paranoid sociopath.
Oh, thank you.
So I've come up with sort of a dictionary to help decipher the words, phrases, idioms, and behavior that you will, to the point of tedium, be expected to deal with on a daily basis. One of the things you'll hear every day is, get so-and-so on the phone. A request which may or may not be prefaced with, hey, stupid, and or followed by, now, damn it. Now, damn it means please. Hey, stupid is I-me's for your name. But the most important part of this phrase is, get so-and-so on the phone. This doesn't mean leave a message if he's not there. It means get so-and-so on the f***ing phone. It doesn't matter if so-and-so is on a plane somewhere over Wyoming, or even dead for that matter. So you'd better find either a carrier pigeon or a shovel. See, Imus requests are not bound by the laws of physical science. There's an exigent need here. Imus must ask so-and-so if so-and-so saw Imus last night on ABC News. This is a life-or-death situation. And guess whose life we're talking here? Right, exactly. Then there's get me some fruit. This, on the surface, appears to be a request for breakfast. The meaning, of course, is much more complex. Get me some fruit can sometimes mean I'd really love some fresh berries, but it can also be an Imus mandate for, well, a mandate. Male homosexual companionship. Get me some fruit. It will sometimes be uttered in the form of, don't get me any mushy fruit, which represents either a blemished banana or some Christopher Street choreographer who could use a few hours up on a treadmill. Here's a quick reference chart. chart of the most used Imus words and phrases. Fatso is a term of endearment. Fiercely bright means I'd like to have sex with her. I love this person translates to this person is much smarter than I am. The women's, they love the I-Man. Yeah, the women's, they love the I-Man when the I-Man pays them. Do you have anything funny? That means he does it.
Nationally syndicated gossip columnist Liz Smith here on the hideous Imus in the Morning program. Salt Lake City is Mike Breen. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, I-Man. I understand you have a very courageous and a very handsome blonde quarterback filling in for me today.
No, Boomer Esiason was there.
Bill Sims couldn't make
Bill
it.
Sims couldn't.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Now, the offensive coordinator, how much does he have to do with all this?
Well, there really isn't. It's coordinated by committee.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we don't have anybody in charge here.
What do you mean a problem? I mean, look how many points we scored. We've moved the
Yeah, you
ball.
scored 6 Sunday. I know
but
that.
but we've also played in 2 horrible weather games.
Oh, God.
So I don't want to hear anything.
We'll cancel these games then when it rains.
I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into a game other than just.
This is
I'm going to come over and kiss you.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Bill Belichick got run over by a reindeer. Walking Christmas Eve so very late. You may think that this might be a bad thing, but ask a Cleveland Browns fan, it was great. He'd been watching some old game films, trying to solve some coaching riddles. He started walking home and wondering how often he should run Eric Metcalf up the middle.
Trevor Jack, if we're going to bend the meter two lines in to make this thing work, it's not going to...
I have a Joey Buttafuoco song that could just wipe that.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
You know, that's a very festive time of the year around here.
Right.
They wrap the bars with ribbons so they look like candy canes.
Yeah.
Inmates go caroling cell to cell. Even the guards are in the spirit. They cut prices on all the contraband candy and cigarettes. Tiny's celebrating Hanukkah this year.
Really?
Yeah, he just converted to Judaism. He can't afford a good Jewish lawyer, so he thinks if at least he's Jewish, he'll stand a better chance at an appeal. He's pretty serious about it. He's talking about getting 2 sets of dishes for the cell. I even heard him ask the prison doctor about getting circumcised. Whoa. You gotta be pretty serious. You wanna go whack off a chunky and Mr. Dinky just to get a couple of extra holidays. Maybe that's what Michael Jackson should have thought about, huh? Circumcision?
Oh, yeah.
They could have cut off the part of his penis that had all the incriminating evidence on it. Nobody'd be any the wiser.
Yeah.
That's some story, huh? In a hospital in London being treated for his addiction to painkillers. But what they really should be working on is his addiction to... They say his doctor's gonna testify that he's a virgin.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? 35 years old and never had sex? That's ridiculous. I guess now we know why he grabbed his crotch so much. He's lucky he didn't go blind. What he needs is some spiritual guidance. He should go see like a priest or something, try and get off the molesting those little kids. Well, maybe not. They just put that priest away for 18 or 20 for making the little children come up to him.
That'll be fine.
It's getting so people ain't gonna want to kneel in church no more. What kind of a world do we live in when priests have sex but Cindy Crawford don't? Do you think that's true, Mr. Chump?
What?
That Cindy Crawford is, not having sex?
I don't know.
What a waste. I can't believe Richard Gere would rather stick a chihuahua in his butt than sleep with her. Go figure that one out.
Well,
I guess celibacy probably isn't all that bad. I mean, when you're on the outside. When you're in prison, celibacy means doing it in your cell.
Yeah.
What? Okay, Tiny. I mean, you hootie. Tiny wants to spin the dreidel and hide the matzah.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than hiding the salami, let me tell you that.
former heavyweight champ Iron Mike Tyson. Very droll, Mr. Tyson. My production guy. 12 days of Two black boys that knock you point a little heads because that's what it is.
Come on, brother.
So you get that, baby, and have a merry Xmas. Joey and Angela here on the Imus in the morning program. It's 13 now until 7 o'clock. And here now with comment and observation on headline issues of the day, Imus in Washington senior political analyst Richard M. Nixon.
Yes, indeed. Imus in the morning. And thank you very much as always. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere, I hasten to add. You know how old I'll be next month?
81.
81 years old. It's into my 8th decade. You know how old that is in dog years?
567.
567, man. God, I'm bummed. Well, be that as it may, you know what?
Well, you're still viable.
I am still viable, J.D., an old warrior fighting till his last breath. I always tend to turn a little melancholy at this time of year. But it's nothing I can't handle. Happens to a lot of people, actually. I wonder if that woman who did the astrological profile of you the other day, and what was the name of that new publication?
Her New York.
Who's what?
Her New York, that's the name of it.
Oh, boy. One of those papers on a mission, huh?
Well,
a pack of pierced nipple nihilists groping for definition, huh? Don't you just love that? Anywho, Dano, I was wondering whether the woman who's their astrological scholar, and isn't that an oxymoron, whether this Barbara Scott might do my horoscope.
Well,
because I heard her say some fascinating things regarding you. Quick-witted, clever, a tendency toward the egocentric, honest, direct, yada, yada, yada. No argument with any of that. The only startling revelation, in my view, was that she was able to deduce simply from doing your chart that you had a big wiener. Yes, that's how she put it. Causing me to suspect that the sign she was born under must have read Bellevue. And yet, I wonder what she would have to say about me. Well, intelligent, savvy, charming, farsighted, horny, borderline lush, who knows? A best-selling author, she could have that for sure. In fact, I'd like to use my regular slot this week for personal gain. I've got a new book I'd like you to flog till your arms go numb. You know, like you do for Kinky or Pete Hamill or whoever. Yeah. Coming out on the 20th of next month, on the 25th anniversary of my first inaugural address, Beyond Peace, an examination of the post-Cold War period, in which I conclude that such times often are attended by stagnation. And in order to counter that, we must find challenges as stimulating as war. Now, frankly, I have no suggestions in that regard, because a good old-fashioned war is pretty damn stimulating. Remember when I expanded the air war into Cambodia back there during Nam?
Yes.
Oh, those were the days. Hey, down there, headache! And then, boom, it's Miller time. Can't get any better than that. Memories like the corners of my mind. Misty napalm-colored memories of the Khmer Rouge.
That will be fine.
Memories.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
All right, here for Mike Breen, who's still on the road with the hapless Knicks, is
With Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Dan and Connie are not here this morning, but Giselle Fernandez is, and here she is with more news. But first, as I was talking about during...
Our rank on this earth, to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Morning program.
Chicago Mayor Richard J. Daley.
Network Newsroom. I'm David Brinkley, principal anchor of this effort, joined as usual by the following impediments: Walter Cronkite, Rush Limbaugh, Tupac Shakur, and in New York, Don Imus. Here now, some late headline stories. In New York, friends and family of Governor Mario Cuomo have now joined the rest of the state's electorate in discouraging the governor from running for a fourth term, saying essentially, enough is enough. Please just go away. Cuomo commented for IIW microphones, saying that he has a lot of options outside the public service arena.
Let us look at that for a moment, shall we? When one has been in the process and then must go to travel other avenues, to seek other destinies, to explore that which one's existential experience has denied one the sense of hurdles left standing, then certainly I think you have to ask yourself why. And parenthetically, why not? These are the considerations on which this governor will base his decision, rightly or wrongly. And then, let history be the judge.
In Houston, Texas, another embarrassment and a hit of scandal. NASA effort to repair the troubled Hubble telescope. When astronauts Kathy Thornton and Tom Akers, scheduled for a spacewalk, perhaps through a miscommunication, turned their extravehicular activity into a space hump. The moment occurred when
they too were in the shuttle's cargo bay and were accidentally caught by NASA cameras installed there to monitor the Hubble repair work. IIW News was able to obtain shuttle-to-ground radio transmissions that were recorded during the unscheduled activity. Endeavor, this is Houston.
Roger. Endeavor here, Houston.
Endeavor, what are Thornton and Akers doing in the cargo bay? Over.
Well, they're into the secondary upgrade mirror anomaly install program. Should be about to complete insertion. Over.
Well, can you see them from where you are? Over.
Oh, let me check, Houston. If I can just turn a bit, I think I can.
Well, what do you see there, Endeavor? Over.
Houston, insertion is complete. I repeat, insertion achieved. Only anomaly is that it has nothing to do with Hubble.
Back on the planet's surface, more information today on how the ghastly sex abuse case against former priest James Porter first came to light. In Washington, the spokesman for the Roman Catholic Church gave details during the news conference, and IIW microphones were there.
We first began to grow suspicious of Father Porter, sad to say, when he began behaving strangely during certain rituals.
Can you be more specific? Just what was Father Porter doing?
He was extinguishing altar candles by sitting on them, basically. That is not a recognized element of our liturgy.
In other words, sticking them up his...
That's about right, yes.
Meantime, Father Porter has appealed his sentence of 18 to 20 years in prison, asking whether it can't be extended to more like 28 to 30, or maybe 35, or perhaps 50.
Meanwhile, another celebrated court case, a tragedy. After a sentence was passed on Damian Williams, the man Reginald Denny said was only trying to make him feel more comfortable, he believes. When Williams dropped a cinder block on his head, Mr. Denny announced to a crowded news conference that in yet another gesture of forgiveness, that he, Denny, hoped to be able to serve Mr. Williams' sentence with him. IIW microphones were there as Denny spoke.
To err is human, to forgive is divine. That's what I think, when I can think. I forgive everybody of everything, because my brain is an omelet.
The courageous trucker then invited individual members of the press to come forward and hit him with cameras or whatever they had at hand. And obligingly, they beat him to death. Mr. Denny was 35 and a certified sap.
Imus in the morning.
743, 1708.
Change topics for just a moment. Bernie was telling me he was to an old-fashioned Irish wake last night.
Right.
$5 cover and a 2-drink minimum. Enjoy, Bernie. That's for you, buddy.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Well, what's going on? Sports.
What's going on? Well, we have the Mets saying there's a 50-50 chance that pitcher Brett Saberhagen will be headed to Cleveland. The Mets want a young shortstop, someone like Felix Fermin, or maybe even Felix Mantilla.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Why with us?
Because Felix Mantilla played about 25 years ago at the Mets.
Or did?
Yeah.
So you were trying to fool us.
So tune in, please.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we are tuned in, but we wouldn't know.
It is December 1993, I mean. Thank you.
In the morning on the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
George Young. You're George Young. Your buddy. See if we get some pics. I'm right there next to you. Georgie, I got a big break with the Eagles on Monday night. Got 1 and 2 back-to-back weeks.
I could have made up for your 0-3 2 weeks ago. We're ready to roll tomorrow.
Last week.
I know that.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
With 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
6:05 on the Fan. Good evening, everybody. Iron Eagle taking you until 10 o'clock. And then it's Knicks basketball right here on the Fan. Pat Riley's team taking on the Golden State Warriors out on the West Coast. Susan Wald will have the pregame show coming up at 10:05. We'll be with you till then. Taking phone calls, of course. You'll have a part of this program at 718-937-6666. And you get the idea that the shelf life of this Jet story might be coming to an end pretty soon. I just hope the Jets can shake it off.
WFAN, the flagship station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Fan. Hour number 3 is underway. Iron Eagle taking you until 10 o'clock. Obviously, a lot of Jet talk in the first couple of hours. We'll have a chance to get back to that a little bit later on at 718-937-6666. They will award the Heisman Trophy on Saturday, and there is no doubt it will go to Charlie Ward of Florida State. He is the most deserving. Glenn Foley made a late move towards getting the award. That we'll talk to Lenny Klumpus. You say, who? He is actually the chief operating officer of the Aloha Bowl. And yeah, I know we wouldn't be talking about the Aloha Bowl for any old reason, but Lenny is trying to accomplish something here that most college football fans would agree with. Lenny Klumpus is trying to put together a proposal that would have some type of national championship game. We'll do that after the top.
It's 46 degrees, and that's what's happening. This is Bob Usler with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Knicks basketball.
9:06 on the Fan. Final hour is underway. Iron Eagle taking you until 10 o'clock. We'll have more phone calls coming up at 718-937-6666. Now, what are college football fans complaining about most these days? Of course, they're saying...
Cool. Is he going to come down the chimney? He's that cop. Check out those dogs he has pulling his sled. They have, like, TV antennas on their heads. Maybe if we hook a wire up to their butt, we could get, like, the Playboy channel. Yeah, that would be cool. Look, he's got a band. I bet he's going to bring us some really cool stuff. Like M80s. And nachos. Hey, if he, like, sees when you're sleeping, he must know, like, when you take a dump. What a pervert. Yeah, he's watched you spank your monkey. I guess you'll be getting a lump of coal, dude. Yeah. Fire.
6:33 here on the East Coast of America, and I am Imus. Mayor Vincent, Buddy Cianci, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning again.
So there was a list of your expenses that somebody sent me.
Well, which one are you interested in?
The one that the $80 for hair care. Wait.
No, that's not true. See, that was over a 3-year period. You know something? You could, if you want, I can give you the name of the barber. But look at this picture here. Remember, he's not a plastic surgeon, you know.
He's a miracle man.
That's right.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
So you've been mayor now since 80...
I've been mayor 3 decades off. Well, I was mayor for going on my 5th term next time if I run.
So when does this current term expire?
Oh, when I decide. I don't know. Maybe
This guy will be on Monday, by the way.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
A returning wife, and they've picked a fight with these 2 actors in a health insurance commercial. and in the midst of all of this, they've decided to challenge Ross Perot to a debate over NAFTA.
God. Oh, man.
And I mean, the vice president is a nice enough guy. He's bright. He obviously can spell potato. I mean, it's stamped right there on his forehead.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Here with us from ABC News is Jeff Greenfield. Good morning, Jeff.
I have something on you that you will never live down. I got leaked from a friend the internals of the Yankelovich poll taken on you.
Yes.
When I read the approval-disapproval ratings, I swear to God, I thought they were measuring John Demjanjuk in a Benet Brit meeting. I have never seen numbers like this in my life.
Well?
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
When is a beer not a beer? Well, that's a question that's been line issues of the day. Imus in Washington senior political analyst Richard M. Nixon.
Yes, indeedy. Imus in the morning. And thank you very much as always. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere, I hasten to add. You know how old I'll be next month?
81.
81 years old. Hey, God, it's into my 8th decade. You know how old that is in dog years?
567.
567, man. God, I'm bummed. Well, be that as it may, you know what?
Well, you're still viable.
I am still viable, J.D., an old warrior fighting till his last breath. I always tend to turn a little melancholic at this time of year. But it's nothing I can't handle. Happens to a lot of people, actually. I wonder if that woman who did the astrological profile of you the other day, and what was the name of that new publication?
Her New York.
Who's what?
Her New York, that's the name of it.
Oh, boy. One of those papers on a mission, huh? Well, a pack of pierced-nipple nihilists groping for definition, huh? Don't you just love that? Anywho, Dano, I was wondering whether the woman who's their astrological scholar, and isn't that an oxymoron, whether this Barbara Scott might do my horoscope. Well, because I heard her say some fascinating things regarding you. Quick-witted, clever, a tendency toward the egocentric, honest, direct, yada, yada, yada. No argument with any of that. The only startling revelation, in my view, was that she was able to deduce simply from doing your chart that you had a big wiener. Yes, I believe that's how she put it. Causing me to suspect that the sign she was born under must have read Bellevue. And yet, I wonder what she would have to say about me. Well, intelligent, savvy, charming, farsighted, crooked, horny, borderline lush, who knows? A best-selling author, she could have that for sure. In fact, I'd like to use my regular slot this week for personal gain. I've got a new book I'd like you to flog till your arms go numb. You know, like you do for Kinky or Pete Hamill or whoever. Yeah. Coming out on the 20th of next month, on the 25th anniversary of my first inaugural address, Beyond Peace, an examination of the post-Cold War period, which I conclude that such times often are attended by stagnation. And in order to counter that, we must find challenges as stimulating as war. Now, frankly, I have no suggestions in that regard, because a good old-fashioned war is pretty damn stimulating. Remember when I expanded the air war into Cambodia back there during Nam? Yes. Oh, those were the days. Hey, down there, headache! And then, boom! It's Miller time. Can't get any better than that, huh? Memories, like the corners of my mind. Misty napalm-colored memories of the Khmer Rouge. That will be fine. Memories.
It is 7:24 here in New York, and I'm Good morning. We'll talk with Maureen Orth from Vanity Fair coming up here in a few minutes. Scott Muni, one of the legendary rock and roll disc jockeys in radio. Yeah. A fixture here in New York for the past 25 years, and for my brain to do sports, kind of unusual for you to tackle something like this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, you know, I'm always looking for those new challenges, man.
Yeah. You recovered okay. Remember here about 6 months ago, you fell over in your boot. It's about a year ago, I guess it was.
Yeah, it was at the Christmas party last year, NEW.
Yeah.
Looking forward to taking a nosedive into pate this year, too.
Well,
kind of one of those party tricks. They expect it now, you
What
know?
was the matter with you?
Well, I had my cholesterol done, you know, a little blood workup, and apparently the LDL count has a comma in the middle of it.
Sports sponsored by Amstel Light. Here with all that is Scott Muni.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
Bennett dribbles out front. Hot Rod comes with him. Bennett feeds it down the sideline. Good morning on the baseline. Good at the buzzer. The game's over.
3WE play-by-play announcer Joe Tate with the call. I'm Scott Muni in for the vacationing Mike Breen. Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
I'm on vacation.
I know, Breen, believe me. Any time away from you is a vacation. Alonzo Mourning's 10-point jumper at the buzzer helped the Charlotte Hornets snap a 5-game losing streak.
It wasn't a 10-point jumper. It was a 10-foot jumper.
Well, it should have been. I mean, it went in just as the buzzer went off. It was a beautiful shot. They should have given him the extra 8 points. Anyway, they won 95-93 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, not getting it done. John Stark scored 27 points, and Patrick Ewing had 20 points and 17 rebounds, it says here, to lead the New York Knicks to a 94-81 ass-whipping of the Golden State Warriors.
I don't think that kind of language is necessary.
Okay. New York's won 5 of its last 7 games, and John Starks explains why he shot so well.
I just wanted to come out and just not think about anything but shoot the basketball. I've been in sort of a funk, so to speak, and just come back out here and just make a strong effort and concentration.
Rhodes Scholar John Starks.
I don't think that's necessary either.
In other NBA action, Phoenix over Washington 114-95, Atlanta taking out San Antonio 105-95, and Houston woofed up on the Miami Heat 115-109 in overtime. In football, the recent confrontation between Jets players Dave Cadigan and Jeff Criswell and Newsday reporter Rich Cimini is causing quite a stir. The two beefy pantloads apparently lashed out verbally at the diminutive sports writer, and Jets coach Bruce Coslett has this to say about the incident.
I'm here to coach them. You know, I want them to block the defensive tackle the proper way. That's my job. I'm not here to say, I don't pick their wives for them. I don't tell them where to go to dinner. They're men.
We're a little short of time here, Scott.
Yes, they're men, and you like looking at them in the shower, don't you, Coach? What was it that antagonized Cadigan and Criswell in the first place? Apparently trash talking from Cimini.
My wife.
What?
You my wife. How could you ask me a question like that?
When asked about the off-color remark, Jimini told me,
Go ahead.
I was joking! Don't you know a joke when you hear one?
this weekend the Jets face the Redskins at RFK Stadium tomorrow.
No, none of this is working. We're way short of time, and can we just end this?
Okay, there's a lot of games this weekend. Buy a paper. Scott Muni, Imus in the Morning, 2020 Sports.
Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks! Cleveland rocks! Cleveland.
The buzzard bites my weenie.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
And that's what's happening. I'm Vince DeLisi with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship radio station for New York Knicks basketball.
Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
9:04, and what do you say? Howie Rose with you on the fan until midnight, which will give us plenty of time to yak things up at 718-937-6666. And I'm telling you now, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about one of the most overblown, overstated, overreported controversies I have ever seen or heard in my entire career. And that, of course, the Cadogan-Criswell explosion at Newsday's Rich 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship radio station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66.
It is 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Howie Rose with you till midnight. And we hope to have the newest Met, Frank Seminara, with us sometime between now and 12. I think he's in New York now, isn't he, sweetie? That what you told me? That's good. And he's a Brooklyn guy, a Columbia guy, which means Seminara and Gary Cohen are going to become fast friends, if they're not already. Well, let's see. Frank Seminara is 26. Gary Cohen is...
Sports Radio 66. WFAN, New York.
I will say one thing here about, I wanted to bring this up, about this shootout to settle time. Open turkey sandwiches for lunch and scrambled eggs, bacon, and Apple Jacks in the morning, and it killed 5 people, for God's sakes. I mean, come on. Guys shouldn't eat it all. 9:32 on the fan, back after this.
Want to hear about your team? We cover all.
Adam Graves, thoughts of him, and he is... I'll tell you, talk about the Rangers do a tremendous job. Charity work. That whole organization, a lot of, the Messier with the Tomorrow's Children's Fund and the whole bit. All right, good first hour. We got plenty to do. We're here to 11:20 high, and then, of course, the Jets kickoff will be on the radio at that particular time. Mikko at 10. We'll come back other side, so I'm on back.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
When it continues to rain lightly, that's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Jets football.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN, New York.
Back on the fan. Nice to have you with us on a Saturday morning here in New York. Hour 2 of our radio program. An earlier start today with the Jet game at 12:30, pregame at 11:20 here on Sports Radio 66. 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number. A lot's going on, a lot of baseball today. We talked a little bit about...
On the holiday, telling you in amazing ways.
This holiday, your AT&T phones and...
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN, New York.
Metro Business System.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN, New York.
All right, on the fan, Christopher Russo, Matt in South Hempstead, Long Island. Hello, Matthew.
Sports Radio
local station for New York Jets football.
Hour 3 here on the Fan. Nice to have you with us. Freeman McNeil and Iron Eagle are already in the shop. Getting ready for the pregame for you. Jets Redskins at 12:30 today. NBC. Jets back-to-back Saturdays, and obviously a decent game at 4 today, though I don't believe in the Falcons. I'm very down on them. Niners play them at the Georgia Dome. Next week, some good games. Denver Bears, that's going to be a big game for both teams.
That is Jeff Hughes' vote. We'll be very interested to hear your vote after Bob Houston with the Flash. Here now on the phone with us, the brother of the President of the United States, Roger Clinton. Good morning, Roger.
Hey, man. I think I'm in love. Jocelyn Elders. It's the girl of my dreams, man. Give out condoms and legalize drugs. She ever says that French fries are good for you, I'm just going to have to marry her.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Hey, I've been in Mexico.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I'll take care of some NAFTA stuff for my brother.
Right.
Kind of on my own, though. He didn't ask me to do it.
Right.
See, now that we're going to be exporting all these computers and stuff, I figured I should do my best to maintain a balance of trade. Need a couple of bells I can hook over?
This is the 50,000.
24th on WFAN, the flagship station for New York Jets football. Overtime in the NBA last Good morning with Jeff Hughes and the all-night overnight Fan. They've noticed something just staying right around here. Yes, it's me, Bill Daughtry on the Fan. It's 718-937-6666. Kicking it around. Have fun with you on the phones, on the Fan. We never close. So pick up the phone, dial the numbers, partake among the topics we have been discussing, well, at least for the last hour or so. Who is your most exciting player? Mine is the...
Are you applying for the job?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get it.
What happens?
Yeah, you got a great chance. How are you?
I'm good now that I see you.
Well, don't be trying to suck up to the audience.
That's right. I got good lips for it.
Be quiet. Mighty. Can you start today?
We have any pads.
Can you?
Oh, my God. Knee pads.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning on the Fan.
Roger Belinda, is it? What are you shaking your head if that's not really your name?
That's obviously not her name.
Oh, because you have a job now.
See.
And you're here.
Yeah, you're really smart.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning, it's 9 o'clock. I'm Vince DeLisi.
Running on ice today. Boy, I'll tell you something. The road. I never saw a 4-inch snowstorm paralyze a city before. This one did for 2 days. Eddie's next, Mink's next, then Eddie. All the stuff. We'll catch you tomorrow at 1.
It's the NFL Now on the Fan. It's the 12 days of...
Down the road.
Who is it?
I don't know. It looks like the fat chick from Wilson Phillips.
You're such a dork. It's Santa Claus.
Cool. Is he going to come down the chimney?
You said come.
Check out those dogs he has pulling his sled. They have like TV antennas on their heads.
Maybe if we hook a wire up to their butt, we could get like the Playboy channel.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Look, he's got a bag. I bet he's gonna bring us some really cool stuff.
Like M80s.
And nachos.
Hey, if he like sees when you're sleeping, he must know like when you take a dump.
What a pervert.
Yeah, he's watched you spank your monkey. I guess you'll be getting a lump of coal, dude.
Yeah. Fire.
cars out by 10. Cancel that gig, give me some yuck, so you're out of here.
Good work. Good work. Good work, Bernie. Shut up, you jerk. Tell you one thing I'll do. I'll come in there and take you two white boys and knock your pointy little heads together. That's what it is. Come on, brothers. So you get that, baby, and have a Merry Xmas. Joey and Angela. Shut. 12th day of Xmas.
All right, now.
I'm in me. Well, Liesel starts today.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Black day
brother.
for her.
Well, why? What time she do?